Show me my mother and father are alive. This message and the hashtag #MeTooUighur has been trending on social media owned by Uyghur Muslims around the world. The campaign began a couple of days ago. On 10th of February, Chinese state media released a video, you can see it here, appearing to show a prominent Uyghur musician alive, despite reports of his death. The video came after Turkey criticised China's mass detention of Uyghurs in its far west, saying it had learned of Mr. Hayat's death in a camp. So now relatives of missing Uyghurs and activists have taken to Twitter and Facebook to ask the Chinese government to prove that their loved ones are still alive. With me is the BBC's China media analyst, Kerry Allen. And Kerry, this video, to start with, that was put out by Chinese state media, quite a lot of doubt being voiced about it.
Yes, absolutely. It went out by China Radio International, their Turkish edition, which is China's international broadcaster. And it's quite unusual that this video was released anyway, because China controls the dialogue of what happens in the country. So they wouldn't feel the need to put out a video saying this man's alive if you know, the
feeling some pressure.
Yeah. Well, these rumours haven't made it into the country, and crucially this video has not been shown in the country. But at the same time, China has doctored videos before. In fact, recently it was the Spring Gala TV event that everybody sits around and watches, kind of the equivalent of Christmas or New Year show, and people picked up on how there was doctoring to censor out a Chinese celebrity in that. So China is known for.
There is a record here.
There is a record here, yes, but we don't know whether this video is real or fake. I mean, it may have been that this man's voice had been doctored, but yeah, at the moment we don't know.
So the pressure's being kept up, and being kept up around the world, separately by so many families. I mean, how many times do we think this is being posted?
Absolutely. I mean, hundreds of people have been taking to Twitter and to Facebook using the hashtag #MeTooUighur, saying that they don't know the circumstances surrounding their family. And this is common, that people go into detention centres in Xinjiang in northwest China, and they simply don't know. They don't hear from their family anymore. They don't hear if they're okay. So I mean, it's unusual that this video was released anyway, because Xinjiang is so tightly controlled that people simply don't know.
And as you see these images, you know, of people around the world, all sorts of walks of life, saying #MeTooUighur, it appears that it's a backlash, isn't it? You know, the strategy of putting out the video has aroused cynicism and more talk about the issue.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, activists are showing solidarity now, and they're sharing placards of themselves holding this hashtag too. So it's building a lot of momentum outside of China. But inside China, absolutely no messages can be seen whatsoever. I mean, China's very, very sensitive about suggestions that there's any ill treatment of its Uyghur communities in northwest China.
I know that's something that the BBC, our colleague John Sudworth, for example, has been following. We don't know for sure, do we? But there is evidence of these huge detention centres.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I mean, Google Maps shows evidence that there have been these buildings that have been constructed in recent years. BBC correspondents, other correspondents from around the world have tried to get within the proximity of these buildings, and they're followed by the police and they're told to turn away. So it's a very tightly controlled media environment, very tightly controlled area, and it's very difficult to actually know what happens to people once they end up in these detention centres.
Kerry Allen, thanks very much for taking us through that story. Thank you.